I thought that's just,
Are you ready?
That's just not good enough.
Well, what do you want to say? You add on to it then.
Merry Christmas, you beautiful people.
Okay, ready?
Okay, you gotta tell me when you're ready.
Right now.
And we're saying, Merry Christmas, we love y'all.
Yeah.
Like that. Merry Christmas, we love y'all.
Okay, ready?
All right, 1, 2, 3. Merry Christmas. She said it. You said it was it.
Ready?
I said 1, 2, 3, then you go.
Say 1, 2, 3, and then give it a pause, and then go.
The pause is gonna make it harder. Okay.
All right.
1, 2, 3.
Merry Christmas, we love y'all.
I will start with Dad. I like that he is just the most laid back, chill guy. He is a wonderful dad. He's a great person, very trustworthy. I think one of the most things that makes me feel so special about Dad is that every single time he talks to Corey, he always asks about me. He always checks on me. He's like, how's Haley doing? How is she? And that means a lot because him and I don't talk directly personally a lot, but I think he's a fantastic person.
I don't know, I think Dad's very adventurous, and I think I like that a lot. He's always down to do something wild or something random. I always enjoyed just chilling, going to the gas station, hanging out, talking with Dad. That's probably my favorite part about Dad, but yeah, just a good guy, a real good guy.
Mom was always at home taking care of us and nurturing us, and I think it's really special that he devoted that same amount of time that Mom spent with us working as hard as he did, and all the hours that he did, and just being away from his family all the time to provide for us so that we had a good life. And he was always just a great example of a dad and set such a high standard for especially us girls having to find husbands. But just also his goofy personality. He can be seen as a really hardcore, like business-driven kind of guy, but when it comes to us, he's always been really silly, and he's just fun to have a good time with.
So now we're Patty the Patty. We should get that in like embroidered on something, like on a pillow. Showing love to everybody, whether he knows them or not. I mean, I think that's a trait that is becoming less and less seen by people. And I know that that's something that is really and not inspiring is the word, but not the word I'm trying to think of, but like something like of a role model for sure is to be that way, especially as like a husband, I feel like, or as like the father figure of the family. I mean, like Alexis was saying, I mean, I think having your own kid is definitely like the start of a lot of things and a lot of conversations and a lot of thinking about ways, and it's a lot of inward thinking as well. I mean, like even looking at myself and going, how can I be a better father? How can I be a better husband? And I don't think that there's very little, if not any, individuals that I know that would probably top your dad in that regard. Like I hold him at a very high esteem in terms of being a father figure and being a husband. And that's something that I'm very grateful to have found and married into. Yeah, I think I know as lucky as Alexis is to have him as her dad, I'm equally as lucky to have him as my father-in-law.
I feel like Pat has had so many titles. So from being Mr. Pat, Pastor Pat, and now he's got the new title of being Papaw. And I've loved him at every single title that he's had. He's been such a role model in my life. just like him, he serves others. So if I had an issue, I know for a fact I could call him and he'd be here in an instant, no matter what. And like, they have always treated me like their own, and I'm just eternally grateful. I think he is just the coolest guy ever, and I just love him to death.
I love Dad because he's never been a taskmaster, I guess. I hear stories of dads who really like force kids into things, or they want them to be a football player or whatever. People force their kids into things. He never did that with me. He always just encouraged me if he saw something that I liked or he knew that I liked. He would encourage me in that, and he was always supportive, and he always told me the truth about things, even if it was a hard truth. I felt like he would tell it to me in a kind way, even though I'm sure like he avoided some of those conversations. I know he's not combative like me and doesn't want to get in the middle of things, but I think he always, when he had to say something that was true, he would to me, and he wouldn't shy away from it. So I love him for that, and just for the good times, the fishing days, and the football games. So, yeah.
Wait, okay, tell me when to go.
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Oh, I'm thankful that they like cared for us growing up, and they were like always supportive of what we did, and like they didn't care like what kind of sports we did or anything or what we wanted to do growing up. They supported us no matter what, and like they enrolled us in the best schools and like wanted what was best for us. I feel like Dad always wants people to be like happy. Like since he's always like in a good mood, he's like, I feel like every day, even if he's not in a good mood, like he always like is nice to people, and he always wants people to like laugh, and he just wants everybody to be in a good mood. Dad always be waking us up in the morning, like, or on Sunday mornings, he always busts through our room at like 8:30 a.m. and he like sings, and he'll like open the like blinds and the light will be coming in, and he just sits and stares outside like in the front backyard for like 20 minutes. And I cannot. That makes me so mad in the morning.
I love Mom and Dad because they've always been supportive of us, and they always make sure to put like the kids before themselves. And like they've always like made sure they can put us in like a lot of activities and sports such as like club volleyball and Christian Heritage. Okay, Dad is always like in a good mood, and he's always been supportive of especially like our sports. Like he was my coach at one point. And like every time he gets home, I swear he's like never in a bad mood. He always like makes us happy if we have a bad day.
Oh, patty cake. My biggest thing I love about Pat is that he's just a family man. Something I really admire about him and aspire to be myself. Whether he's, he could be working till 7 p.m. and goes right to volleyball practice to help coach the little girls, or go to any family event or whatever he's got going on. He doesn't hesitate. He doesn't say he's tired or anything like that. He's just, ready to go and spend time with his family. And I just think that just shows the type of person he is.
What makes Dad special? Why do you love the guy?
Dad's just the best. I mean, he's just Pat-ball Pat, So he's just been awesome, like growing up. Like he is like the reason why I like loved sports so much and was so competitive and wanted to he's like the biggest reason why I wanted to play in college and stuff. And he's honestly just like a great dad. Like throughout our whole lives, the one thing that I've always noticed about Dad is that he's done everything he could to provide for the family, even if that meant that he was spending weeks on the road without seeing his kids and his wife. So, there's not much better that you can do as a dad, so he's the best. I just remember whenever I was younger and
he just had like the worst memory. Like I have bad memory, but it doesn't get worse than Dad's. And I will never forget crawling up on this stage in the middle of church. And I just remember this huge purple jacket I wore with a big bow. So like I just stood out in front of everybody and like I was just playing games and I was like crawling up on the stage and Dad was like giving me the side eye and Mom was like pinching me, but I just kept doing it. Well, after church, Dad was so mad at me. He was like, Miriam, you better go to the Lying Mushroom. So I remember going upstairs to the Lying Mushroom and I was just sitting there like terrified. Like I was like, this is it, like my life is ending. And I sat there for probably an hour and a half and I finally was like, I think he forgot about me. So I just remember walking downstairs and he was working in the garage and I just slowly walked past him to see if he would say anything. And he was like, oh, hey babe. He's like, where have you been? I haven't seen you in a while. And so he forgot. So I got out of that.
I know it was Corey, and I think you were there, and maybe like Jaden or Taylor were in the room, and it was your mom and Corey just punching each other. And your mom is sitting over there trying to play the victim, like, look at what he's doing to me. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you started it, or at least you're an active participant in this fist fight.
True.
So, like I said, I've always felt loved by her, especially, and I know that she's always there, or is always willing to be there, or always a phone call away if there's ever anything that, Alexis and I need, but, selfishly, if there's anything I need as well. I mean, I know that I could always pick up the phone and call her or text her. And I know that she probably feels the same way about me, especially for all the times that she's asked me to cook or take over cooking. Yeah, no, I mean, I think that that's something special about her, is how, like you said, I mean, like devoted to your kids, like to the the Horne family. But I mean, I think that doesn't stop at, like I was saying, at the biological child. I mean, that's very much so to the in-laws. I mean, and the friends. I mean, there's no stop to the love that's given, which is very important, which is very genuine.
So I think what makes Mom most special is just how she's dedicated so much of her life to all of us. I think all of us kind of have taken that for granted, and she's the fact that she stayed with a whole zoo of kids for so many years while Dad was working, and he and just being alone and all that's got to be really hard. And especially now having her too, having little Lennox, it's hard having one. So I can't imagine having that many and always being home and nurturing that many kids. And some of us were pretty wild too. That's always been something that I've admired about her. And she's a little nut job, but that's one thing that we love about her. She's a little crazy nurse. Mom is like the go-to, like, get out of jail free card. Like, she will literally get you out of anything. I remember, like, most recently, it was traumatizing at the time, but like now it's really funny. But I was having some like bowel movement issues.
We're gonna say this story.
I've never been to the ER in my entire life, but it was the scariest thing that's ever happened to me. And I literally had to call her and be like, have her come stay the night. And she was like so ready to come. And I remember her being like, do you want me to check? And I was like, no. It was just funny that she's just so ready to she's always ready and willing to be there no matter what is going on, and even checking her 24-year-old daughter's bum. She was ready to go.
She friggin' was, I know.
But that's what we love about her.
Yeah.
She's always willing and always there for everybody at all times, no matter what. So that's what I got.
For Kim, I would say that she She told me once when we were trying to get ready for, it was like a Christmas play that we were doing. She had me cutting fabric and I did a horrible job. And she said, well, it's a good thing you're pretty. And I was so insulted. But I think about it now and I'm like, that's just her being Kim. And I think that's like the funniest thing ever, that I feel like because of who she is as a person, she just says what she's thinking. I also really like that because I know if I give it right back to her, like, we're good. So I've never worried about hurting her feelings. I always tell people she was the first Horne that I ever loved because it's true. I thought the world of her and still do, from her teaching me dance as a little girl and just growing up thinking like she is a super mom. And I still believe that. Like, she has 6 trillion kids and she like sorted socks. Who does that? But I think that what makes her special is just her heart to serve people. We kind of have a running joke that we don't know how to say no. But I think that for her, that's one of just the best things about her is that she is always going to care for someone else. Her home has always felt like a home to me, even when Cody and I weren't dating. I would go over and just hang out with the Hornes. And so I just love her, and I have so many fun memories of her probably making fun of me, and I wouldn't change it for anything.
I love Mom because a lot of things really, but I think just the sacrifice she gave for all us kids is one of the most loving things she could have done. She gave up her time dealing with me and all the little rugrats, teaching us, putting off career, putting off things I'm sure she wanted to do to raise us all. Having that many kids is a lot of work, and I think she definitely sold out and put all her heart into it and loved us all the time. I think she's also fantastic because she is there to listen to your issues, your fears, your questions. She's always, even if she doesn't have an answer, she's there to listen and encourage you. So it's my favorite things about Mom, I believe.
Okay, this one's not really funny because Mom was not that happy, but one time we were at Myrtle Beach and me and Mom were biking. I think we were going to get ice cream or something, and Dad like locked us out of the RV. So it was like pouring down rain, so we had to go, it was at Myrtle Beach, so we had to go like watch this random show, and it was fun. But me and Mom actually ended up liking it. Mom, she, like, even like how like bad of a day she's had or how bad of a mood she has, she's always gonna like try to make the rest of the family happy. Like, even if she has a bad day at work, she's still gonna like put food on the table or like make sure like we have a good day.
I feel like Mom like always wants us to like feel good about ourselves. Like, does that make sense? I feel like she always wants us to like be confident in what we do.
Top things, Mom and Dad. I think Mom's. You're probably right about Mom. I think maybe that I didn't have to do anything ever. She did all my laundry, dishes. I never had to do any chores. And if I did have to do the chores, I found a way around it. You know. But yeah, I love Mom. I think maybe my favorite thing about Mom is that's tough. I think probably her empathy. She's very empathetic, but yeah, I love Mom, and she's always been very good to us. So,
Mom is incredible. When I tell you she's probably the definition of a super mom, between being a nurse, having 6 kids, homeschooling. I mean, how she does it all, I don't know. But even now, she's incredible. She's so loving, she's so kind, so caring. And she makes me feel like one of her own, which is really special to me. So I just appreciate both of them for being parents to me and welcoming me into the Horne family. And being a part of you guys' life for the past 9 years has been incredible. So I love them. Probably one of my favorite funny stories is Mom's reaction of her coming around out of the kitchen into the living room as I'm screaming and Corey's holding me over the railing at the top of the staircase. Just dangling me over and I'm like hanging on for my life.
That never happened.
It happened. But
You're exaggerating it though. It never happened like that.
I like, just the environment was always loud and fun and chaotic, and I think Mom loved it, and Mom was just so go with the flow, and I think that's what I remember just growing up from 15 to now with the Horne family is just the fun that you have.
Kim, she's my second mama for starters. I tell her that every, whether it's a birthday or whatever it is, but she's what I call a super mom. I know Miriam mentioned, she doesn't say no to anything, but not only does she do that, she does follow through with everything. I know I used to say yes to a lot of things, and I'd probably end up canceling on everything, to be honest. But she can say yes to 1,000 things in 2 or 3 days, and she'll do all those 1,000 things in 2 or 3 days. So I just think it just shows, how hardworking she is, and she's always just going to be there to help people out. So it's just something I really, admire about her, and that she's just the super mom. She can do it all. Okay, when I first met Mama Kim, I'd been outside. I met Pat outside with Miriam, and I walked inside. I was petting all over Chewy for probably 10, 15 minutes. He's very needy, as Miriam is.
I'm not.
But so I was petting all over him. He smells bad because he's an outside dog. That's fine, okay. So I go to meet Kim in the back room, and she said, "Hey, I'm Kim. I'm Miriam's mom. Nice to meet you." Stuck her hand out, and I just froze. Like, it was like horrible in my eyes. I was like, looked so disrespectful. I just froze. I was like, I can't shake your hand because I just pet the dog. And she just started laughing, but I thought it was like such a bad first impression, because I was like, I just looked so disrespectful. Like, she stuck her hand out, "Nice to meet you."
Yeah,
so sweet. And I'm like, So she laughed it off and gave me a big hug, said, we're hugging this family anyway. So it worked out well, but it was horrible on my end at first, but she made it all seem okay.
Oh, Mom. Mom's just a train wreck. I'm saying that because she's probably bawling her eyes out right now. But Mom has just been an amazing, role model for, I think, all of us girls growing up. I think that I'm the most like her out of all the kids. I was gonna say genuine, but I'm not as genuine as her. But I don't know, I feel like we've always had a really good connection just because we are a lot alike. But one thing about Mom is she is just the most incredible person. The things that she does for people, she can never say no. She would always do everything for other people and put herself absolutely last. We literally had to take her to the hospital last year because she was about to have a heart attack for everything that she does for other people. And I always say that I want to be just like her when I grow up, but the older I get, I realize that I won't be half the woman she is because I won't do half the things that she does for people. But no, Mom is just the best, and like I said, I couldn't ask for a better mom. So yeah. Was that terrible?
No, you did good. What's special about Mom and Dad?
Oh my gosh, I forgot. Hold on, redo.
Yeah, it's too hard for me.
I'm gonna add in the fact that I really love that your mother didn't teach you life skills.
Oh, okay.
Mom taught me a lot of life skills.
No, she didn't. No, she didn't.
Yeah.
She did everything for you.
Yeah, I think my favorite thing about Mom is...
She let you suck on the nipple till you married.
I think my favorite thing about Mom is that I didn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
My favorite is that we got married and you didn't know how a washer and dryer worked.
What makes Pat and Kim special? Well, biggest thing I would say is that
me.
that's not the biggest thing. That's like the 48th to 50,000th, the biggest thing.
Yeah, we could talk about what it's like to be with somebody of
my caliber.
Of your caliber for 9 years.
That's a high caliber.
Oh, the caliber.
That's top tier for sure. It's one of the best. It's probably one of the best.
Listen, we were in Walmart for about 25 minutes today, and I contemplated divorce.
I was drifting around the lane. I was like drifting and making car noises.
He literally kept running the cart into my leg as we're walking. I just gotta be better than Corey.
Y'all can be pretty fast.
You're not better than me at anything, and you never will be.
I can't stand you.
You never will be. Not till I'm dead.
Your death's gonna come sooner than you think.
One. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Countdown because
3, 2, 1.
Merry Christmas,
Mom and
we
Dad,
love you.
y'all.
redo.
That was brutal.
Okay, wait. What are we doing?
We're saying Merry Christmas, Mom and Dad, we love y'all.
Okay. Okay, we need a countdown again.
Okay, go again.
Merry Christmas, Mom and Dad, we love you.
I'm not
No.
good at this kind of stuff. I'm so bad at
Mine's
this kind
about to
of stuff.
pop up and
Good job.
Mine's about to pop up and I'm running away the second it pops up.
yeah, let me just
No, that was really good. That's all we needed.